Okay, I'm Kris Avina. I'm here with Kris Paronto.
Nice to meet you, Kris.
Kris, thanks for taking the time to speak to us.
Of course.
You are obviously retired Special Forces, or you're always Special Forces.
I was, and we don't want to get the Green Berets mad. I was in the Special Operations community. I was a Ranger for many years. But people get that confused, but with the different services, SEALs, SF, Delta, and then you get PJs. We're all Special Operations community. So and it is out of respect, for different things, going through different courses. To say that one guy's Special Forces and one guy's not a Ranger, we're all Special Ops guys, and we all go through that difficult training to become at the levels that we like to be at. Sometimes though, it's just a question of not being able to feel pain because you're just an ignorant. You're an ignorant idiot. You don't want to feel anything anyway. But I just want to make sure that's clear so people understand it.
You transitioned out of that.
Yes,
You're
I did.
a motivational speaker. You do Fox News.
Every once in a while,
And now you started Battle Line Tactical.
Well, Boone and I, Dave Benton, the gentleman that was a Marine sniper that was with me that night in Libya and at the CI Annex, him and I were instructors for many, many years. In fact, he is even taken it to the next level. As I've been a speaker, he's continued to instruct. So it was a logical step. It was something that we looked at each other like, wait a second, why haven't we been running our own instruction company since we got done doing this? And so it was something that we've always been doing. And
within your skill set.
It is. Before Benghazi even happened, we were we both were training personnel going overseas, doing the job we were doing. So it was just one of those things, where you had a V8 and you smack yourself in the head like, what in the world are we not doing this for? And it's taken off bigger than what we expected. In fact, we had to shut courses down this year because we're too full.
Now, I looked at your what you cover. I mean, you cover everything from basic handgun
to we do individual protective measures, which is basically counterterrorism courses. We do anything from carbine pistol to we do many high advanced that we actually have hand-to-hand combat trainers. Benny Gloss, a fantastic trainer that's a lead instructor for us as well. Larry Stevenson here in Dallas, Texas, who's another trainer for us and works with us. We use his range. So the gamut of our classes really range from our experiences though too. We're not going to train you in anything that we haven't been through or we haven't tested downrange. And that's what benefits us as well. Having him and myself, we don't know everything, but when you put our experiences together, we know a lot. And then we're able to pull from different experiences from people within their different communities and get more training and higher advanced level training, and then tie it all together, because when it comes down to it, pistol, hand-to-hand rifle, you may do all that in one night. I'm just saying, you might, and so you need to be what we call full spectrum. You got to know everything.
Now you go right down to the type of ammo that you should use.
Of course. We have an ammo sponsor, Maximum Defense, of course. They do this great systems. They're one of our sponsors. Fort Scott Munitions is one of our sponsors as well. And Boone, he's the brain guy. He likes to shoot the gel. He likes to shoot the gel blocks. He likes to do the ammo testing. We do that as far as shooting into vehicles to see what they do. But it's important to know what your ammo can do once you're carrying it. You have something that may not penetrate a vehicle, you need something that's going to, or something that may need to shrapnel a little bit more because you're using it for home defense, and bullets go through drywall. Okay. But you may need something else that dissipates, so if you have a friendly, or you have your daughter or your son or somebody in another room, that you know that it will do that, so if you have to engage.
It'll break up on the wall.
Of course it could. It can fragment and actually just dissipate. So again, that's another advantage of getting trained, coming to training with us, is because that's part of being a full spectrum gun carrying owner. I want to say combative owner, because we're not all combatives. We do gun carrying because we're law abiding citizens and we want to protect ourselves. But it's also smart to know what your ammo does, because you may have to use it one day. You need to know what it's going to do. Yep.
So you would train groups anywhere from law enforcement down to say my hunting camp.
And that's why I get the smile on my face. Our open enrollment courses, we've had SWAT officers that aren't getting the training they feel they need to get, all the way to a 7-year-old lady that maybe can still carry holder, but she doesn't carry as much as she'd like to. So the parameters are monstrous. And what we like about that is that I think, and I'd like to say that we are introducing new shooters to the community, and also introducing shooters to the community that may not feel that they can go through some of the tactical stuff that we do, saying, yes, you can. Come on in, friendly environment. I'm not humble, but Boone's humble. So, but you get the personalities that people have seen 13 hours.
Yeah.
They see that the personalities are spot on. So when they train with us, they're getting a kick out of just watching us, going, "Hey, my gosh, these guys are exactly what they were in the movie. This movie's spot on, and they're funny, and they like to have a good time. They like to joke, but they also are intense." And Tana was very physical, which I am physically active, so they throw physical stuff into the courses. So that makes it fun, and all around they enjoy it, but they also are getting a lot of good training out of it. And when you look at it, you have 2 lead instructors when you come out and train with us, so we can take bigger classes because you got 2 of us sitting there. Then we've got assistant instructors too, so that we've vetted, that we know are going to have the same personalities as us, which is making it comfortable. You train better when you're comfortable. Yes, you got to ratchet it up every once in a while, but you don't want an instructor out there that's arrogant, yelling at you all the time, because that doesn't do anything. That just turns you off, and that's not how it should be.
Now, is it mainly men you're training?
No,
or,
we
or
do.
how many women? I know it's a
You
growing,
know what? Yeah,
it's a growing
it is.
demographic in the outdoor
I would
industry.
say when we have an open enrollment class where it can be a co-ed class, we probably have 25% women, 75% men, which I think is pretty good. But we also do women's only courses, and that's out of request from women saying, "Can you do a women's only course?" I just had my first one out in Decatur, Nebraska, 2 weeks ago, and hardcore women. It was guys. It was 12 degrees out, and these women are out there shooting basic pistol in 12-degree weather. It was freezing. Wow. We have another one coming up in Palm Bay, Florida. So, no, we have. I would say overall, it's almost. I won't say 50-50, but it's a 60-40 split. And that's amazing because you see women coming out.
I love to see that.
And to all you men out there, women listen to instruction a lot better than men. So you tell them something, and they're extremely good shooters. And I don't get in the PC. There's women, there's men, yes, but there are skill sets that different genders are better at. And I'll be honest with you. But that's one thing women are more impressed at is they listen. There's no ego involved. And they can get out there and hit the target. It's amazing.
I have hunted with a lot of women,
Yeah.
and I can tell you straight out, they're good.
They are good. And
They're good.
Us dang blockhead men, we can do everything. We know everything.
Ego.
You don't see that with women, and it's fantastic. And it's a great trainer. And again, they're great shooters, fantastic shooters.
I agree. Now, taking a step back, you co-authored 13 Hours.
Yeah, I did. Myself and Boone and the surviving members of the team, which was Oz, Tig, Jack Silva, and then we had Mitchell Zukov. When you have Marines, Rangers, and SEALs trying to write a book, brother, it turns into a coloring book and a pop-up book. You got a little pop. So we had to have Mitchell come in and help us with it, which he's a fantastic writer in his own right. And it did great. It was the #1 New York Times bestseller, which in that climate was pretty impressive because it didn't do the past administration any favors, which it shouldn't have. They left us behind.
Now, was it difficult to write?
It was.
Reliving
You know what, though? At that time, though, we did it pretty quick. Well, we did it about a year after the incident. It was doing like an after-action report. We were so spread out. The only person I knew what was going on the whole time was Boone, because him and I were together. But I didn't know what Tyrone was doing the whole time. Jack was with Tyrone, and I didn't know what Jack was at. So it was very therapeutic. It was. Figuring out what everybody did that night and getting it from their perspective. So I knew what was going on in his head, and I knew what was going on in Oz's head. It brought a lot of, I don't want to say closure, because there'll never be closure, but it brought a lot of the loose ends that I didn't know together. So it was a fantastic thing to write. And then it was, again, getting back to it's very therapeutic. Mm-hmm. And it's right, and it's correct. The Ranger Way that I wrote was a lot more difficult because it was by myself. I did have a writer. Hey, I'm not a great writer. I had somebody help me. Her name was Melissa Moore, fantastic. She came and helped me write the book. And but it was pulling up things in the past I didn't want to talk about. Yeah. The Ranger Way is about failure. It has nothing to do about how beat on your chest this great. It's about, hey, I screw up just like everybody else. But from my dad from Lubbock, Texas, he taught me, fall off that horse, you get back on it. He taught me to pick myself up. So it's failure leads to success, and that's what the Ranger Way is about.
I think one of the glaring questions is why? Why didn't they send help when there was battle-ready troops hours away?
And for the troops on the ground, all you guys out there, I know a lot of those guys are ready to go. The ground pounders, the pilots, they wanted to get out there. Political. It's political. A lot of reasons. You got the election coming up, Obama, and now Obama wouldn't have won. Okay, just on the run. I honestly believe that if this story would have come out the truth, right off the bat, he wouldn't have won the election. He barely won anyway, and Mitt Romney wasn't exactly the greatest candidate at the time.
I agree.
And also Hillary Clinton, she was getting ready for her run at presidency already. That was going to be her stepping off of, look what I did in Libya, look what I did in Benghazi, and it showed how big of a failure that whole and we did that whole invasion of what they didn't want to call it invasion, but that's what they did. Invasion of Libya. They turned it into a failed state, complete political foreign policy screw up. And that would
Susan Rice blamed it on
and then blaming
that horrible anti-Muslim video.
There was no video. There were no protests going. They just made it worse. If they would have come out and said things at the beginning, not going to win the election, yes, but it wouldn't have turned into this big fiasco lie that they told now, which drove us out. We didn't want to tell it. We didn't want to come out and tell the story. I went to Yemen after Benghazi. I continued to deploy. So did Boone. It got to where it became where they were trying to rewrite history. Is where we just said, no more. And bottom line, they were using the weapons there in Libya to support the Syrian militias. I mean, all those Gaddafi's arms are going over there. And that was something that we wanted to be into. Look at the mess we're in there now. And that was the Obama administration, and that was also Hillary Clinton.
So basically, this stand-down order came from Obama down to Clinton, down to Rice, right down the line.
There's two stand-downs, people. The CIA stand-down. People don't get that. And the first stand-down by our CIA personnel, that was just our CIA personnel just not being out of their element. You get into what we call the OODA loops. You get into the color codes. Our chief went in the black. He shut down. He didn't know what he was doing. He panicked. The military stand down, yes, that comes from, and it always comes from your commander-in-chief, who at that time was Obama. But then it also relies on the State Department, who did come in and commandeer that mission and told the military no more. Why did Leon Panetta not stand up as a Secretary of Defense and stand up for his troops? Well, that just shows you his character and the spineless bureaucrat that he was. But when it comes right down to it, it comes all the way down from Hillary, Obama being the president. He's the commander-in-chief. He's got to sign the declaration so we can get in there with jets, because it wasn't a war. We're in a wartime scenario. It's not a declaration of war. So for us to get jets in there, he's got to sign off to get the jets in there in their airspace, Libyan airspace. But then when it comes down to it, it comes into a State Department mission, and that's Hillary Clinton, that's Patrick Kennedy, that's Charlene Lamb that are giving the orders of not, you guys, they don't need help, leave them alone. And it was that's as simple as you can get it, breaking it down. They didn't want anybody to come help us because of politics.
Yeah,
that's it.
It always comes down to that. Well,
yes, it is.
I want to thank you for your service.
Yes, sir, Chris.
I want to thank you for everything that you sacrificed for us.
Thank you.
And I appreciate your time.
God bless you, brother. Thank you again. Thanks again. Thanks for all your viewers out there as well. God bless you all.